GameSpot oder Tech, IGN?
IGN. Gerade.
Thanks for watching. Ah ja, Diablo.
Your sacrifice will not have been in vain.
We begin by hearing an old, wise-sounding voice. And we see a quiet, peaceful setting. This will make our game seem big and important.
Was ist das denn für ein...
Something must break the serenity. Will this creature be in the game?
Ja, genau, jetzt ist mir auch noch was eingefallen. Arc 2 vielleicht.
Stimmt.
Arc 2.
People running. These pointless slow-motion shots make everything seem cool and should bolster pre-sale numbers.
Wo schaust du gerade? Bei IGN oder GameSpot?
IGN.
Sound can
IGN.
mean only one thing.
Okay. Mal schauen. Summer of Gaming.
Ja, machen die gerade so, bevor das losgeht, da.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're using so many cameras, all the cameras, thousands of dollars worth of cameras just to be stupid up here.
There's lots more summer gaming coming up real soon. We'll be right back.
We're taking a quick break.
Don't you dare.
Alter, der Wortwitz.
IGN Summer of Gaming is presented by Lenovo Legion with 13th Gen Intel Core processors. Beyond performance.
So you like IGN, huh?
Xbox Games Showcase starts in 24 minutes and 15 seconds.
Introducing IGN Plus,
Stay
a
tuned.
brand new program that's loaded with tons of cool perks and benefits. Sign up for IGN Plus today and you'll unlock free games and in-game content every month, a free subscription to Map Genie Plus, huge discounts for stuff like Dream Gear, Power A, Humble Bundle, the IGN Store, and tons more. IGN Plus is just $29.99 a year for a limited time. You deserve a little extra.
Behind every game, movie, and TV show you love is a wild, crazy, and sometimes unbelievable story.
No one is just black and white.
From revealing the secrets behind your favorite franchises to solving a legendary video game mystery,
I'm coming for you.
IGN Inside Stories gives you a peek behind the curtain.
If people come to the game now and see what's going on there, I think they'll be surprised.
Join us as we dive into hyper-dedicated fan bases, worldwide phenomenons, and the most incredible untold tales in games and entertainment.
I said, wait a minute, that doesn't sound so good.
It was definitely not what I expected in the best way.
Inside Stories, available now only on IGN.
And I was like, holy shit, we're gonna do this.
Have you been stuck on the same quest for just way too long?
I just want answers!
IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help. IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and of course, free. You can even track your progress with handy checklists if you go for 100% just like we do.
We're gonna be going over some sensitive material.
IGN has the very best, most complete, and accurate guides for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, The Witcher 3, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Elden Ring, and so much more.
I will require some time to process this information.
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN.
Open your own sushi restaurant? Then I've got the game for you. Dave the Diver is a casual single-player
Alan Wheeler. Okay.
Fish and explore the deep sea.
Ist das der Bruder oder Cousin von Joey Wheeler?
Uncover the secrets of the mysterious blue hole.
Nee! Alter!
Full release on June 28th
Boah, du
on
bist so ein Arsch,
Steam.
Alter.
Let's take a look.
Boah, Alter, ey. Manchmal gehörst du echt geteert und gefedert dafür, ne?
For the sea. He spends his days diving the
Dave the Diner.
of a mysterious blue hole. And
The
when
diver.
he's merely surviving or rummaging resources, he's often found snapping photographs, racing seahorses, farming, and really anything that grabs his attention. It's this gluttonous appetite for adventure that gets him into all kinds of unique situations. Luckily, he's at the top of his game and at the top of the food chain. I suppose even the most voracious hunters have their off days.
Was sind das für Hai-Eingriffe?
Das ist wirklich so eine Mischung aus Unterwasserleveln, aus Mario, Donkey Kong und so, aus Restaurant machen und was weiß ich was.
Right here on IGN Summer of Gaming. Most of the
Bei mir hat's gerade kurz geladen, ey.
Ja, bei mir auch.
But that was actually a deep dive with Dave.
It sure was. Up next, a much less literal deep dive on Sonic Superstars. At least I hope it's not literal because those underwater levels stress me out.
He does drown a lot down there. Let's keep that blue man on dry land. Walk, walk.
Now, it was just last year we received Sonic's latest 3D adventure in Sonic Frontiers, and just a little over half a year later, Sega is back at it again, taking our favorite blue hedgehog back to his 2D roots with Sonic Superstars.
Sonic, stimmt, genau, Sonic. Stimmt, die haben ja...
Neues Sonic-Game rauskommt?
Mit 2D wieder.
Ach, so ein Remake, gehe ich mal von aus, von dem alten Sonic-Game.
Ja, was es damals auf der Sega gab.
Oh.
Genau, die 2D.
A lot of the inspiration came back when we were in development. The Sonic Mania and then Sonic Origins came out. We wanted something that really hit on that 2D game.
Ich glaube, schon lange Zeit damit verbracht hat Sega damals.
Also ganz ehrlich.
So we took that 2D classic gaming.
Was soll ich davon halten?
Started creating.
Ich fand's nice damals. Und heute wahrscheinlich nicht nochmal zocken, aber
but brought it into something current that could stand right next to Sonic Frontiers, which is also the current 3D version of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Now, what can you tell us about
Hätte nicht sein müssen, muss ich ehrlich sagen.
Yeah, we are taking this back to the roots of the classic Sonic formula, and I can't talk that much about the story of Sonic Superstars, but I can say that the storytelling that we're going to do is similar to that classic version of the game. So we don't have voiceover, we aren't making people read a lot of text in order to understand the story. We're going down even further into the roots, and we're using that classic storytelling technique of just using the characters as superstars and kind of how they're running around in the world and how they're doing battle against Eggman, and all of that is being told in that classic formula of storytelling.
In der Zeit, wo die jetzt das rausbringen, hat Sega viele 3D Sonic Games rausgehauen, die deutlich richtig genial waren.
The difference between this current version of the classic Sonic game and the current versions of 3D Sonic games, we really make Sonic Frontiers to be a game that gamers are going to be able to jump into, get into the deep gameplay, play for a long time, and really have a lot of fun as a gamer. But we wanted to do something different for Sonic Superstars and take that classic gameplay formula and present a game where you can have the whole family come in and join. It's very easy, open for all ages to just jump in, play the game, understand it, have fun, have other people play with you, and really have a good time together.
Now, you mentioned playing with the family and friends. So what can you tell us about multiplayer and co-op?
そうですね。今回ソニックスーパースターズを作るにあたって。
So yeah, when we were developing the game, Sonic Superstars, it's all about our superstar characters, Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Knuckles. And Amy's going to be playable in this game. We wanted to bring those superstars into the game and have you be able to play cooperatively with each other with our superstars.
Now, of course,
wenn es Game Pass ist, würde ich es schon zocken.
In the Sonic universe.
Ja, wenn es Game Pass ist, dann würde ich dem auch eine Chance geben.
Are there any other villains that we could also expect, or is that you can't really tell me? I'll let you translate this.
今回はもちろんエッグマンが
So yes, Eggman is the villain of this story.
Ja, Eggman ist wieder dabei.
New and interesting is Eggman has actually hired or employed Fang, which some people may know and remember from some of our older games. But yes, Eggman has hired Fang to kind of take over the island together as a team. And what Fang has done, he's even gone out on the island and found another character, Trip, who they're going to join forces, and the three of them are now like the evil group that's going to be working against Sonic and the Superstars.
The combat system in Sonic Frontiers is really extensive. I'm kind of curious, what are we looking at with Superstars? Like
Aber das Combat System in Sonic Frontiers ist halt einfach genial. Es ist genial.
One of the things we wanted to do is make sure we really the very first thing the team did was went and replicated that down very precisely. So when you're playing Superstars,
die neueren Sonic-Teile habe ich nie gespielt. Genau, die von Sega damals.
So once they have
Sonst habe ich noch nie einen Teil gespielt.
We need now character-specific actions. We need Tails to be able to fly. Knuckles needs to glide and be able to climb. Amy needs to be able to use her hammer. So they went in after that base was created and started putting in the character's unique actions.
So we have 7 Chaos Emeralds that are in this game. Can you tell us what happens when you actually obtain the emeralds?
Klar, dann wird man zu Super Sonic.
So I think we know before in classic Sonic games, when you got all 7 of the Chaos Emeralds, or when you got all of the Chaos Emeralds, you could turn into Super Sonic. In this game, we have something a little bit different. When you get a Chaos Emerald, each of the Chaos Emeralds are going to have their own unique emerald powers. So as you're playing the game and as you're collecting these emeralds, you're going to want to, get the emeralds because you also have these unique abilities you can use in the game. Some of these abilities may be able to create many different avatars of your character, and those avatars will come on screen and help defeat all the enemies. There's other Chaos Emerald powers where you can turn into this liquidy water form, and because you're also part of water, you can go into a waterfall and maybe swim up the waterfall as your water-powered self. So there's lots of unique abilities that you'll be able to have by getting the Chaos Emeralds, and it's something very unique to this game, not done in the other classic series titles.
This is amazing. We've never seen anything like this in any Sonic game, so I'm kind of curious, do each of the emeralds affect the characters differently, or is it like similar effects across the board?
Yes, all of the powers are tied to the emerald. These are the emerald powers. So as you get these emeralds, you have that ability for any of the characters you play with. So if you're playing with Tails or Knuckles as well, you can also turn into the water form and use the same abilities that Sonic has.
So I'm kind of curious, like, what inspired you all to kind of like give the emeralds different powers?
So
the inspiration actually came from inside of our own titles. I think a lot of the inspiration came from Sonic Colors and the color powers that in a modern Sonic game, that's what they wanted to do in order to
Ich glaube, ich muss mal wieder anfangen, Japanisch zu lernen.
make a world of its own navigated differently, either with the laser or with the other color powers.
Okay, dass sie wieder dadurch auf die Idee gekommen sind.
Klettert auf den Burger? Was war das?
Classic Sonic. How can you give Classic Sonic those powers, and how can those actions and powers actually help make it easier for Classic Sonic to get around?
Meinst du bei dem Dings, wo er da durchgebohrt hat?
Ja, das war doch ein Burger im Hintergrund.
Das war eine Torte.
Die
Torte?
Ja, das war eine Torte.
Dann bist du also wie ein Burger.
Das war aus Sonic Colors.
These emerald powers, because we have these emerald powers, we can have Classic Sonic and the other classic superstars get around and navigate the world differently.
Now, of course, we have to talk about the graphics. It seems you all have fully embraced the 3D aesthetic, which is popular today. How are you able to kind of melt that with the old 16-bit days? Because like we've advanced pretty far beyond the Genesis and the Game Gear with our current gen consoles.
まずグラフィックが綺麗になるっていうのは当たり前ですよね。それ
It is that 2D classic Sonic game, but because we're using 3D models to create the world and the characters, we're doing things inside of that 2D gameplay formula that we couldn't have done before. So sometimes it's going to be sending the character back further into the world. Maybe it's going to be turning the character, spinning the character in a way that we couldn't really do with the classic look and the pixel art. Or it could be a boss battle that we're going to have in this kind of 3D space. There's all these things we can do because we have 3D models, even though we have a 2D game style and a game format, we're able to play around and do things that the classic Genesis and Game Gear titles couldn't do.
From what we've seen, it looks like we're going to be getting a lot of new levels and worlds for Sonic and his friends to play in. But for like the hardcore fans, can we expect any of like the classic worlds to return, like Green Hill Zone? Like I'm a huge fan of Green Hill Zone.
今回ソニックマニアはそのグリーンヒルゾーン
What we wanted to do with Sonic Superstars is really create something new and go in there and create these brand new islands that you get to explore as Sonic. For Sonic Superstars, we wanted to take Sonic to brand new North Star Islands and have Sonic run around in this new environment. So we wanted to make brand new places for Sonic to go in this new title.
Last question I have to ask, because music is very important to the Sonic series. Kind of curious, what type of jams are we going to be listening to in this game?
そうですね。クラシックソニックはすごくポップな。
So yeah, the classic Sonic music has always had this real fun pop vibe to it, and we wanted to stay true to the roots with the classic series and go and create some new, great new music for Sonic Superstars.
Da bist du ja wieder.
What we did is actually, we're working with Jun Seno-ue,
Den kennt man über Sonic.
music director on Sonic.
Ja, ist jetzt so ein kleines Interview, sag ich jetzt mal.
But we're using Jun, and he's partnering with other people who also worked on Sonic Mania music and creating this new kind of sound and this new music that's going to be a perfect fit for a classic Sonic game. Lots of fun, lots of pop.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Honestly, I cannot wait. Azuka-san, Austin, thank you all so much for filling us in on Sonic Superstars. And before they leave, I'm going to have them sign this compendium here. Azuka-san, if you will do me the honors of signing this.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Azuka-san. Look at this. This is so amazing. Azuka-san, Austin Keys, thank you all so much for telling us a bit more about Sonic Superstars.
Jetzt auf eBay verscheuern.
Expect Sonic Superstars to release later.
Auf einen echt hohen Preis, Alter. Jeder Sammler wird das versuchen aus der Hand zu reißen, Alter.
Welcome back to IGN's Summer of Gaming. Wow, that Sonic interview went by so fast, but I guess that's to be expected because he goes quick, he's fast.
No thank you.
Boah, diese Witze,
If you're just joining
Alter.
us, don't worry, you didn't miss the Xbox Showcase. That's coming up very soon. To keep you entertained
Die
until
waren ja so schlecht wie dein Wortwitz vorhin, Alter.
Das kam very soon in 28 Minuten, ne?
That's right, that
Ja,
starts
Alter,
in a
very
few
soon.
minutes, but first,
Ja, ist mir ein bisschen zu lange fürs jetzt.
reveals from Summer Game Fest. Take a look.
Speedrun?
Welcome to
Bitte, was war ein
Game
Speedrun?
Changers, presented by the game-changing
Ja, der Bruder von Joe Wheeler ist wieder da.
where we cover all
Boah, halt's Maul!
that you don't want to miss. When it comes to Game
Boah, du
Changers,
bist so ein Arsch,
Xfinity
weißt du das?
is leading the way, giving you a powerful
Nein, ich bin ein Auto.
a faster, more reliable tomorrow. Now, let's take a look at game-changing highlights from IGN's Summer of Gaming. Jeff Keighley continues
Ja, Spider-Man 2, naja.
with his big show, Summer Game Fest. And we got a lot of looks at some cool games. Because the writer
Oh, das ja, das auf jeden Fall.
Oh, Final Fantasy
was without a doubt the greatest
Mhm.
thing in
Rebirth?
SGF. This extended look at the game showed off some iconic areas, like the Chocobo Farm, Calm Inn, and the city of Junon.
Können die das bitte auf Xbox raushauen? Danke.
Ja, Sony hat's verhindert mit
Neues
massig
Mortal
Geld.
Kombat?
Nee, ist der erste Teil, ein Remake. Im ersten Teil.
Ersten Remake? Oh mein Gott.
Na, das überzeugt überhaupt nicht, diese Prince of Persia, das...
The Remedy universe continues to grow with an extended look at Alan
Oh, Alan Wake 2, oh, ja, auf jeden Fall.
Alter, hauen jetzt nochmal die Klassiker, hauen die nochmal die Klassiker,
Sonic Superstars, a modern 2D side-scroller. But I'm out of time. Stay tuned for more Game Changers brought to you by the game-changing Xfinity Tenji Network.
Ey, als ich diesen Spider-Man-Gameplay gesehen habe, dachte ich an erster Stelle, dachte ich direkt an Prototype. Vom Gameplay sieht es ähnlich aus. Sag ich mal so.
Tune into IGN1 on your smart TVs for the latest news on your favorite releases, gameplay exclusives, and
Aber dass die doch jetzt Alan Wake, den zweiten Teil von Alan Wake raushauen wollen?
You're watching
Hey, check it out.
ready to fill you in on anything you may have missed in the world of gaming and entertainment.
Welcome
Ist interessant.
This is what to watch here on IGN1.
find it all in one place for free on IGN1.
They turned into a network. Who knew?
The Cinefix Top 100. A list so secretive even we don't know what movies are on it or where they rank.
What do you mean you don't know?
Each episode will reveal one of the movies.
Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed. That was good. I liked it.
Talk about why it belongs and finally find out where it ranks.
Are you not entertained?
Are any of the movies we've shown here even on the list? I have no idea, and it drives me crazy.
Ah, Mr. Smith.
Cinefix Top 100.
Ah, nee.
It's over and again! I have the high ground!
Mr. Smith, Mr. Anderson, willkommen zurück. Wir haben Sie vermisst. Ah, der Martin. Nein, diese ganzen Merch mische ich nicht. Obwohl, doch, eigentlich schon. Mit Star Wars ist ein Halo Zelda schon.
Die Collectibles, also gerade das Evoli fand ich echt niedlich.
Nee, IGN-Merch mische ich nicht, die sehen scheiße aus.
Aber im IGN Store.
Nee, mische ich nicht. Willst du mal VR-Games?
Want the ultimate IGN experience? Check out IGN Plus. Members get exclusive deals and giveaways. Ad-free browsing, unlimited tracking on IGN maps, discounts at the IGN store and with IGN partners. And best of all, free games. Get 30 days of IGN Plus for just $1. Head to
mische ich nicht.
Nö, will ich nicht.
Ich möchte gerne einen Xbox Showcase haben.
And today, Microsoft takes the stage with an all-new summer game showcase.
Ah, Diablo.
Starfield and a Forza Motorsport test drive seems likely, but what else? Will we get updates on the latest
aber Fable, Alter, Fable würde ich feiern.
Hellblade, genau, Hellblade 2.
Ja, stimmt. Stimmt, das wurde ja auch was gezeigt. Warhammer, glaube ich, wurde auch mal was gezeigt. Wurde irgendwie was gemacht. Spekuliert.
Achso, Space Marine 2. Vielleicht sendet da etwas mehr.
Hello and welcome back to IGN Summer of Gaming. I'm Ryan McCaffrey, host of IGN's Xbox Show
Noch 25
Podcast
Minuten bis zur Xbox
Join
Game
me today to break
Showcase.
down what we expect and hope to see from Microsoft at the showcase. Please welcome Stella Chung, Destin Legary, and Kat Bailey.
Man, es kamen so viele Spiele, ey.
Direct.
Before we get started, just a reminder that IGN Summer of Gaming is going on all through June, and we have tons of coverage lined up, Xbox and otherwise. But if it's Xbox-focused content that you're after, you can catch new episodes of Unlocked with us every Wednesday on IGN, on YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast. All right, now let's get into it. First, I want to start with what we know is going to be at this showcase, because we're going to be there. Destin, would you like to start with the obvious one?
Starfield.
Yes, that's getting its own direct, so that's going to be immediately following the showcase. There's no intermission, there's no break, so just keep watching here on IGN, and we're going to just throw right to that. We'll keep going, and then we'll come back and talk all about what we saw, and we're going to talk a lot more Starfield. Kat, anything else that is like confirmed? You're a news director. It is your job to have your finger on the pulse of everything. Has anything else been absolutely confirmed for today?
Well, we know that we're not going to be seeing Stalker 2, which of course there's a lot happening in Ukraine.
Stalker 2?
But so no Stalker 2, that one's out, but we will be seeing
Stalker 2. Stimmt, Stalker 2, genau. Ach ja, stimmt, auch ganz komplett vergessen. Ist auch schon, ach, stimmt. Wird auch mal angekündigt, Stalker 2.
Habe ich jetzt noch kurz einen Stalker?
It's been a while since Forza Motorsport 7. You know, they've taken their time to rebuild the game from the ground up for next gen. We've got to be getting a release date for it, right?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I think Destin has been pretty much hounding that point that we're going to be getting a release date, so, which is why I'm surprised you didn't bring up.
Ich muss mal eben telefonieren, gleich wieder da.
Everyone's excited for that. Totally understand.
If you had said Forza first as opposed to Starfield,
I would have been a little surprised. So,
well, it's the one on all the branding.
So. Yeah, there's just I mean, it's literally right there on the screen right now. Showcase the countdown with 22 minutes to go and the Starfield Direct logo. Well, let's talk a little bit about Xbox's year so far. Actually, not just 2023, but I want to go back to the showcase last year, and I think the good, valid reason to do that is because, as we all remember, at that showcase 1 year ago, they said everything you're about to see will be out in the next year by the time the next
Forza
showcase. So as things go in game development, that didn't quite pan out. But let's talk about the year that's been, and it's been a tough one, Kat, for Xbox. Not nearly as many, and Microsoft has even, Phil Spencer's acknowledged this. It's not been the best year for Xbox. But they did have some pleasant surprises. One in particular back in January, a little game from Tango Gameworks. Is that your worst nightmare as the news person when a major console exclusive release gets shadow dropped?
Oh no, not for me. It's fine. It's for the review folks are the ones who have to deal with that problem. I really enjoyed Hi-Fi Rush. It's actually one of my favorite games of the year. It really brought me back to the GameCube era. And it was an interesting model for Game Pass because they shadow dropped it. You saw it on the stream, you thought, oh, that looks really good. I really want to play that. And the next thing you know, it's on Game Pass. And I'm like, I'm going to try that out now. And it felt like it got really nice
so schön und auch interessant aus.
Pleasant optimism and everything, which was a nice little win for Xbox.
Yeah, still.
Okay, riesen Erwartungen im Spiel, riesige Erwartungen.
I think we did a couple of shows literally called "We Adore This Video Game."
Yeah.
Like, it just had, it kind of did everything right, didn't it? It was a good action game. It had beautiful art style, and even it had a personality too, right?
Yeah, we talked about the background, how everything was moving to the beat, and everything. We're just like, it's been a minute since we've seen that much heart in like a little game that came out like shadow dropped, right? Especially you're just like, whoa, there's so many details to this. Like, and it was really cool to see the community kind of come together and tweet out all the little things that they saw, and it was really cool.
Destin, the rest of their year from June 2022 to June 2023, there just hasn't been much. With one unfortunate, notable exception, their most recent thing. We don't need to relitigate this too much, but they're they could use some good momentum right now because their last major first-party release was not great.
Yeah, so Redfall came out. A lot of people encountered a ton of problems with that game, myself included, and we've kind of talked about that one a ton.
So Redfall is
but that was at the same time that the whole acquisition of Activision was blocked, right? And then Phil Spencer went on the Kind of Funny XCast show, and he was like looking pretty
downtrodden. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a rough week, and I was really excited about Redfall. So to see it to launch in that state, it was disappointing for a lot of fans, and hopefully, my hope for this showcase is that they're able to start to hit a cadence with their releases that's regular and we don't have these big gaps.
Yeah, and I think they're set up for that. And I know a lot of Xbox fans are tired of hearing, well, wait till the next thing, wait till next year. But if we take a look at what they've got coming up,
ich finde es schade, als ich den ersten Teil gesehen habe.
This is
sehr interessantes
Todd Howard and the
Spiel.
Bethesda Game Studios
Aber als ich dann selbst gespielt habe, ja, die ersten paar Minuten habe ich schon gemerkt, da läuft's einfach nicht so richtig. Ja, die KI, die stellt sich so dämlich an.
Whether that's this year or not, we'll talk more about in the pre-show here and in the post-show. They've got, of course, Motorsport. They've
20 Minuten mit verbracht und ich habe es wieder aufgehört.
Not even come close to missing. That is a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 game every single time.
Persona.
Yeah, things that have already leaked. I'll take things that have already leaked for 200, Alex. Some Persona stuff. And
Persona.
And then it's, so they're set up for some success here moving forward. And kind of on that note, that's the next thing I want to ask all of you is what does Xbox need to do today on this showcase to have a great show today? Kat, I'll start with you.
I think you need to get a lot of hype around Starfield because Starfield, generally people are like, oh, okay, they came out of it, but there was some mixed reactions to it, so I think establishing Starfield as the next big thing that people are
Monster, bist du da?
really excited about.
Ja, ich bin wieder da.
Minutes or however long it's going to be. That's a long time, so hopefully people
Ich
don't
bin wieder
actually fall
da.
asleep. And then I would like to be surprised I think that we know a lot of what's going to be coming in the show, but it would be really good to be able to come out and be like, wow, that trailer or that reveal was really good. I have something to really look forward to from Xbox now.
Stella, how about you? What does Xbox need to do to have a good show today?
Well, yeah.
Starfield und Halo, das reicht. Wir brauchen nicht so Zeit.
Starfield, Halo, Forza.
Am besten ein neues Halo-Teil. Infinite fallen lassen, das Ding ist Mist geworden. Komm am besten neu. Ja, mal ein offizielles Halo 6 machen.
But also lots of gameplay that can clearly dictate what a game is, because I am very tired of getting misled by what a trailer looks like, right? So a lot of in-depth detail on gameplay, maybe a little developer breakdown, because I do love those. So, yeah.
Of course, Aaron Greenberg, the longtime head of marketing at Microsoft, has already said.
Oder die werden noch wahrscheinlich auch mal ein bisschen was, eine Kleinigkeit reinpacken für Forza Motorsport, für Forza Horizon 5.
Do we need some updates on some of these games they've already announced?
Weil ich glaube, das spielen ja auch nicht mehr allzu viele, oder?
Ja, was soll da noch kommen? Ich meine, was soll zu Forza 5 noch, Horizon 5 noch kommen? DLCs sind draußen.
Wir haben jetzt Hot Wheels jetzt reingepackt.
Ja, Hot Wheels? Ja, es gibt ja schon die zweite Erweiterung.
Echt?
Ja, schon Monate draußen.
Ich weiß gar nicht so.
Ja, ich fand's auch nicht so berauschend. Wenn mal reingeschaut, ich fand's langweilig. Hot Wheels fand ich langweilig, die zweite Erweiterung fand ich auch langweilig.
Ja, also, dass du verpflichtet bist, dir bei dem Hot Wheels DLC, dass du die Sachen da freischalten musst, die Lizenzen.
Das Hot Wheels fand ich Hot Wheels so derbe langweilig, weil du festgeführt nur geradeaus. Macht einfach nicht Spaß.
Ja.
Genau, Phantom Liberty.
Summer Game Fest Play Days. Oh my goodness. It's too early. I gotta get warmed up here.
Oh.
Also, don't forget to stick around for our post show where we will recap everything that Microsoft has
Ich freue mich drauf, wenn ich was dazu sehen kann mal. Und zu einem DLC zu.
Also, was soll die noch bringen für Horizon 5? Eine Forza 8 Subbild. Gibt's Subbild.
Ja, okay. Stimmt.
Damit würden die ja sich selbst irgendwie konkurrieren.
Ja.
We are at Summer Game Fest. Destin, you just got to play Cyberpunk 2077, little extended demo.
Yeah, Phantom Liberty, the new Idris Elba DLC, and it was great.
Yeah?
Yeah, anybody like me
Cyberpunk muss ich auch noch zocken, ey.
on PC and cleared the whole map.
Wait, what?
Also ich habe Cyberpunk ja schon durchgespielt und dadurch habe ich ja auch. Muss ich echt. Würde ich mich freuen, wenn dieses DLC jetzt, ich sag mal, kostenlos rauskommt.
Nee.
You go save her, and there's this mysterious character who kind of leads you towards how to help her, right?
Okay.
And then eventually you are led to meet up with Solomon, the character played by Idris Elba.
Okay.
And at first it's a little like, I don't know, Mission Impossible.
Okay, cool.
Are you good? Are you bad? I don't know. And you're kind of like left throughout the whole experience of the demo, not sure if you should trust the president and this person they've sent them to, or not.
A little intrigue.
Yeah, there's one point where they allow you to take the oath of like the military, basically, right?
I, V, do solemnly swear.
I, V, do solemnly swear.
And I'm like, I don't even know you. No, I'm not gonna do your oath thing. And they give you a coin and yeah, so it's sort of like a spy thriller.
Ich habe ja im Endeffekt ja auch bezahlt für Cyberpunk 2077. Also warum soll ich ja noch mehr ausgeben für ein DLC?
Ja, ist schon immer so. Kann ich immer so was. Wenn du mittlerweile Standard.
Did they give you any clues as to like how much content there is?
Not really, but there is a lot.
All right, we will have more Cyberpunk 2077 coming up after the showcase, but stick around, we're not done. We got some predictions and more coming up for you right after this.
The one I had time to do, it was like some purple.
Der redet einfach weiter.
Summer of Gaming is presented by Lenovo Legion with 13th Gen Intel Core processors. Beyond performance.
Ja, Intel. Laber mal weiter.
So you
like IGN, huh? The news, the videos, the guides, and wikis, it's all in your wheelhouse. But do you ever wish there was more? Introducing IGN Plus, a brand new
Nein, ich möchte das immer noch nicht haben.
tons of cool perks and benefits. Sign up for IGN Plus today and you'll unlock free games and in-game content every month, a free subscription to Map Genie Plus, huge discounts for stuff like Dream Gear, Power A, Humble Bundle, the IGN Store, and tons more. IGN Plus is just $29.99 a year for a limited time. You deserve a little extra.
Behind every game,
Ja,
movie,
I deserve the Xbox Showcase.
crazy and sometimes unbelievable story.
No one is just black and white.
From revealing the secrets behind your favorite franchises to solving a legendary video game
Nier
mystery,
Automata.
IGN Inside Stories gives you a peek behind the curtain.
If people come to the game now and see what's going on there, I think they'll be surprised.
Join us as we dive into hyper-dedicated fan bases, worldwide phenomenons, and the most incredible untold tales in games and entertainment.
I said, wait a minute, that doesn't sound so good.
It was definitely not what I expected in the
Was ich aber auch
way.
geil finden würde, weil Bethesda gehört jetzt auch zu Microsoft. Wenn die irgendwann mal wieder was Neues zu einem neuen Fallout-Teil raushauen würden.
Boah, das dauert. Die müssen erstmal The Elder Scrolls rausbringen. Dann gibt's Fallout.
Also, weil ganz ehrlich, Fallout 76 ist ja echt, war ja nicht so top. Dann haben die ja noch so einen Battle Royale Modus rausgehauen, der war auch scheiße.
I will require some time to process this information.
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN.
Black Desert. Ach ja, auch schönes Spiel.
Black Desert Online is an MMORPG played by 20 million adventurers worldwide on PC. And now, the latest free expansion, Land of the Morning Light, invites you to explore a brand new region with all new boss fights, quests inspired by Korean folklore, architecture inspired by the Joseon Dynasty period, and tons more. Let's take a look.
Pearl Abyss. Das ist so ein schönes Spiel.
Black Desert?
Darf ich ja. Richtig schönes Spiel.
Ja, gibt's ja auch auf Xbox und auf Xbox irgendwie ist das nicht so geil. Vielleicht gebe ich dem nochmal auf dem PC da nochmal eine Chance.
Du musst es da kaufen.
Echt?
Das ist kein kostenloses Spiel.
Wie war das? Auf Xbox ist ein kostenloses Game.
Ja, was im Game Pass ist. Am PC, also sofern es im PC Game Pass gibt, dann ja, wäre das auch kostenlos. Aber sonst musstest du auf Steam halt mal kaufen oder auf ach ja, ich selten hab ich vergessen.
Welcome back. This is IGN's Summer of Gaming. Don't worry, you didn't miss
Mann, wer ist dieser Store von Unreal Engine nochmal?
Don't forget to stick around afterwards for our post-show where we will recap and react to everything that Microsoft shows off. Until then,
9 Minuten.
a video on Twitter with some very familiar background music and a trail of glitter.
Epic Store, genau. Epic Store.
Console generation.
Mann.
Do you think we
Epic Game Store.
Fable today? I know that's high on my wish list. Destin, I'll go to you
Zu
first.
Fable wird man heute definitiv was sehen.
I'm gonna lose it because it feels like.
Ich lehne mich weit aus dem Fenster, wenn ich sage, man sieht heute zu Fable definitiv was.
Ich habe eine Zettel, wo mein Prediction draufstehen oder mal ein neues Zettel für das, was ich unbedingt zocken will.
Pessimist inside me
Ja.
can't help but go, well, what if it's
Muss ich mir unbedingt mal ganzen Daten eintragen, aufschreiben, wann es erscheint.
Because I'm with Destin, I'm gonna actually get my pitchfork and torch, and I'm gonna march with you to Microsoft if this is not. Kat, are you with us? Is this gonna be Playground's game today?
In fairness, I think a Fable 2 remaster would be kind of cool, actually. It's a classic. But
It is great. It's the best one of the series.
But I think that Fable actually, if it really hits, has a chance to really kind of knock our socks off because Playground Games I think it's one of the unsung heroes of the Xbox lineup. They consistently put out amazing work with Forza Horizon, and I'm kind of desperate to see them branch out. And
also auf GameSpot sind die schon bei 6 Minuten und 50 Sekunden.
Guck mal auf Xbox-Seite, da steht wahrscheinlich nichts.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Ich werde dann auf Xbox gucken.
Let's focus on what we think the
second half of the
noch später dran bei
Xbox.
Could look like. We already know, of course, that Starfield is the headliner.
Xbox, mir wird angezeigt, Xbox ja live jetzt auf der Dings.
Ja, ist schon live, aber vom Countdown her sind die weiter hinten als auf IGN.
The last time we saw Stalker 2 was a
10 Sekunden aber hinter.
Aber wir sind die 20 Sekunden. 15 Sekunden.
It's very possible, and I know that
nee, 10 bei mir.
Bei mir ist es 15.
Wir könnten jetzt auch auf die Xbox-Seite gehen, also vom Xbox-YouTube-Kanal.
Ja, meinte ich ja.
I'm really excited for this, so I don't know. I think
Stalker.
Xbox.
Late this year, I think we could get Stalker 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's we'll certainly understand if they don't, given that they're fighting off literal invaders in their home country. But yeah, you know, 2023
ist immer noch am Stream oder was?
Saying today they posted online saying that they will be at the showcase. But Destin, so all right, Starfield's in.
Hätte auch so eine coole Anmauer, so, ja Leute, wir gucken und ihr reagieren jetzt auf die Xbox Games Showcase.
That game looks gorgeous. I really hope.
Boah, Xbox ist ja auf Twitch auch live mit 37.000 Zuschauern. Und hier schon auch mit 9.100.
Ich suche gerade eine Seite, wo es am weitesten ist, also am weiter folgt.
Oh, Gronk wird jetzt auch mit Funk auch darauf reagieren.
Oh je.
One of the coolest, indie games coming to Xbox, and it is an exclusive. Also a Ukrainian developer, also in the same unfortunate circumstances that the Stalker 2 team is. So we'll see about that. But potentially we're looking at a really nice fall for Xbox.
So, was macht Giral? Xbox Showcase, besondere Events.
About 5 minutes to be specific. What do we need to see from Starfield today as the big game, the biggest Xbox exclusive in quite a long time? What is this Starfield Direct?
Aber ich bleibe bei IGN, die sind da.
Okay, well.
Na, weiter.
Wir nur ein paar Sekunden, aber ganz. Aber bei Xbox hast du da aus erster Hand.
Stimmt, das ist auch Stream auf Stream, was wir hier sehen. Stimmt auch wieder. Ja, komm, guck mal auf Xbox. Es gibt auch eine deutsche Version. Gibt es auch.
Ja, aber
war schon auf Englisch.
Egal.
Na, ich will nicht keine Dolmetscher dahinter haben, die wie falsch übersetzen oder zu langsam sind.
Man sieht, worum es dann im Game handelt und was für ein Game das ist. Brauchen auch keine Dolmetscher eigentlich. Von daher, scheiß drauf, Alter. Scheiß doch der Hund drauf.
There have been the comparisons to No Man's Sky, which I don't see as a negative personally, because I love it.
Beloved game.
Right? Yeah, I've loved it since.
Und morgen ist ja auch noch dann Ubisoft dran.
Und Capcom.
Und Capcom, ja, die beiden teilen sich so gesehen eines. Boah.
Ich glaube, Capcom will ich mir nicht anschauen, ist viel zu spät.
Aber auch wenn, ich glaube auch, dass sie heute sogar was zu dem zum Final Fantasy 16 zeigen.
Das ist PlayStation exklusiv.
Nein.
Doch. Final Fantasy 16 ist PlayStation exklusiv.
Final Fantasy 15 und danach der Teil war ja auch Xbox mit drin. Also warum sollten die es bei, ich sag mal, 2 Teilen belassen?
Was redest du jetzt mit dem Teil?
Final Fantasy 15 war nicht nur für die PlayStation,
ja, ich weiß, aber bei 16 ist PlayStation exklusiv.
Hä, warum sollte das nur PlayStation exklusiv sein?
Weil PlayStation wieder viel Cash dahin geblättert hat. Wieder wie Final Fantasy 17 und Rebirth, was jetzt kommt.
Ja, das ist doch Schwachsinn.
Is it Skyrim in space?
aber dafür rumholen, dass Microsoft und Xbox, beziehungsweise Xbox Activision Blizzard holen will. Und Gefahr geben können, dass die das exklusiv machen werden. Ja, als PlayStation, also der CEO da ist doch so ein Clown, ist der Typ, ey.
Also ganz ehrlich, eigentlich wäre es doch besser gewesen, wenn das auch für beide, nicht nur für PlayStation rauskommt, sondern für Xbox, weil es gibt ja die Möglichkeit mit Crossplay.
Naja, PlayStation will das aber nicht. Die wollen ihren eigenen Bubble haben mit diesen weirden Menschen, die da rumhalten, weil andere viel mehr Geld haben als sie.
I think we're gonna see Hellblade 2, and we haven't talked about it much, but I wouldn't be shocked if
andere
it got
mehr Geld haben,
and that'd be a great start to the show.
PlayStation ist sowieso nicht zu verstehen, ey.
Part of Xbox's fall. That would strengthen things quite a bit. Destin?
I think Avowed is the closer to the show, but what I actually want to see is In Exile's FPS RPG, and Ryan, you got me on this one. I hope it's a Fallout 1 remake.
You know, we kind of worked into this whole theory that on the last episode, but I think you're really onto something.
Noch 2 Minuten.
Brian Fargo, the head of In Exile, has a connection to the original Fallout. Yeah. It would be something people would love to play that wouldn't get in the way of a future Fallout 5. Like, I really think you're onto something with this theory.
Like Dead Space was great.
Starfield Direct immediately following the Xbox Games Showcase.
Yeah. Stella?
Ooh, yeah, so mine was...
Also das wird heute eine lange...
Ja, bei mir ist bald Mitternacht.
Jo, bei dir!
Da läuft die Xbox Showcase in den 90 Minuten. Und dann mal Starfield danach, nochmal eventuell eine halbe Stunde, dann geht's bis 2 Uhr morgens.
Ja, läuft. Für dich wird's eine lange Nacht auf jeden Fall.
Is that 2 or 3 years ago now? It's been a while.
It's been a minute, yeah. So we need to see something.
Aber sowas gönnt man sich dann, ne?
Ja. Kommt ja nur an meinem Jahr.
Und jetzt nur noch eine Minute. Wirst du dann auch Starfield, wenn es rauskommt, streamen und wird es dann bei dir auch auf YouTube hochgeladen werden?
Ja, klar.
Oh. We know that the coalition, they've been getting their hands dirty in Unreal Engine 5.
So, mach schon mal IGN aus, mach jetzt hier Xbox und